All right, what up, my gnarlies? This video today is about Kanye West, who officially changed his name to just Ye, which is chill, whatever. Okay, a lot of rappers changing their names out there, but today I was just browsing a little bit in the YouTube, and I saw that his channel was live with a Sunday service, and this isn't the first time I've seen this. I actually saw it, I think, last week. But it hasn't been until recently that I've seen it, and I've been subscribed to his channel for a while now. So I don't know exactly how long it's been going on, and to be honest, I haven't watched all of it, but I did watch some of it today. And what I saw, it was a choir, and it's in like the typical Kanye fashion of like production, where it's this kind of just this creative, interesting, surreal, unusual scenarios and situation, or it's just a choir wearing like these sweat looking clothes, sweat clip pants and shirts kind of clothes, just in a square in this warehouse, and then he kind of like has his kids running around in there, which is kind of cool, in a lot of ways. But the thing I want to talk about is him calling these things Sunday services. And I know that he's done this before, where he's actually had a pastor preach, and so that's good. I mean, the fact that he's not trying to preach himself is good. But I want to talk about like him as like a creative in this realm of the top of the creative field, in music and things and clothing, all kinds of stuff, right? He came out of this dark world into like salvation at a place where most Christians never even dream of being, in terms of like how the world sees us, and how things work, and what you're doing in terms of like just production and art, and like how you go about doing things. And it's really crazy to see God save an artist like him. But at the same time, what we see him doing sometimes is like, it's strange. It's like, why is he doing that? Why is he doing a Sunday service? Like, that's something for the church, right? Like surely he doesn't want to replace the church, right? I mean, does he want to replace the church? I mean, it seems like he likes church, as far as I can tell and know of, unless something has changed. But I think there's like a curious, like, I wanted to like speak into this a little bit, because I kind of have this idea, this perspective on things that, like, Kanye is just doing what he does, right? Like, so Kanye, is all about large production and everything. But now as a Christian, he's doing that, and he's trying to use those gifts to glorify God, right? And I'm sure a lot of people around him were telling him, like, Kanye, now you use your gifts to glorify God. Like, the Christians around him are telling him that he should put those works, those gifts, to use for the kingdom, right? And so he's doing that. This Sunday service thing actually was something that I knew about before I even knew about him being a Christian, before I even believed or understood that he got saved. And I'm convinced that he's saved genuinely, even given the past stuff. And I had a video about that, if you can go back and watch if you want. But to me, it seemed odd. It's like, what is he doing? Why is he doing Sunday services? It seemed like blasphemous. It seemed really strange. But come to find out that he was saved and he was a Christian, what he was trying to do is express himself creatively as a Christian, and with little to none discipleship. And I know he had very little in the beginning. He was still kind of this independent person, like he is. But his pastor, one of the guys that he was attending his church, said that he did get some discipleship from him and from others. And so, he's doing these things, and he's, a guy who's like that expressive. He's that creative, and he does things really well, and he does things on large scales. I'm not surprised to see him doing something like this. And I wouldn't be surprised if there are many people who would encourage him to continue to do stuff like this. The fact is that a lot of the stuff he's probably doing isn't sound, maybe, like it isn't all totally sound. At least he's not like, promoting Catholic stuff and things like that, as far as I know, which is not Christian, but he's promoting odd forms of Christianity a lot of times, and he's involved with odd kind of figures in Christianity that we would think are not of great representation of the faith, right? But yet still, I think God can use this and is using this. He's definitely involving and inviting non-believers into his art and his Christian art, that Christian, the Christian expression of Kanye when it comes to his art, right? So now being a Christian, he's expressing himself through art as a Christian, and he's doing these things, as far as we can tell, to the glory of God, for his own attempt at glorifying God, right? And so the name of Christ is being proclaimed, it is being, spread. And to people who are in an area of the world, in Hollywood and all this stuff, that's very untouched by genuine Christianity. And I know that he might not be the greatest example of genuine Christianity, but it's infiltrating the creative world in a way that it's at least breaking down walls that would stop Christianity from being okay. And I think that we may be on the verge of starting to see Christianity in the art realm in a lot larger scale. Kanye's going to continue to do things that are things that Kanye does. I mean, he's just like a leader. Yeah, he's an artist. He's got this massive imagination. He's going to continue to do these things, and the Lord will continue to chasten him and guide him and all these things. But he's still going to be influencing people in these things, and God can still use the errors of somebody like Kanye to move and to affect and infiltrate an area of the world that actually we really could benefit from Christian influence, because the culture is in desperate need of Christ, and it's really been attacked. The church and Christianity has been attacked a lot by Hollywood and by the arts for a long time. And so it's still something I'm amazed to see God converting someone like Kanye, or Ye as he wants to be called now. And I just want us to continue to pray for him and pray for what God's doing, because when I got saved, and this is part of the reason I'm talking about this, is because when I got saved, I joined a large church, and this church was doing outreach stuff and doing things that I would disagree are biblical. I wouldn't agree that a church should be doing them. But it was because of my ignorance. I didn't know any better. But what I did know was that this church was relatable, and I had experience with Christianity in the past, and I may or may not have been born again and just been totally backslid without even realizing it. The point is that there were a lot of things the church was doing that I was able to get involved in as an artist, and I was able to involve myself in, and it made me focus on the church and not focus on other things. And so they did a lot of things with like set design and stage design and like plays and things like that. And so I was, as a creative person, I was building these set designs and these putting together the parts and all the props and everything for these plays and stuff. And so I was also a musician, so I got involved. And again, like all these things, it's not something I think that we should be doing as Christians and getting involved in terms of like having plays on Sunday service. And I'm even against instruments in worship. I'm a EP a cappella guy. So what I can say though is that like there was this outlet that I got to express myself in, and it just and at the very least it brought me to the church, right? It brought me to the church, felt me like gave me a place in the church. And so I think Kanye, he will continue to do this kind of thing until he learns or feels the conviction that he needs to go about conducting his art in a different way. I think him doing his music and making, you know, Christian, you know, songs and music is fine as long as it stays out of like Sunday worship. And that's where I think this Sunday service thing gets a little weird, is that he's doing it on Sunday. It's like he wants to bring his people, he wants to bring the church into this, to get involved in this. And that's where I feel like it's getting weird. But all that to say, like, I think the Lord has big plans for him and hopefully for the rest of our culture with all this. And again, I just want to encourage everybody to keep praying for him and keep praying for our nation as it's going through as much of it's going through. And that's about it, you know. Stay up, you know, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video, gnarlies. Peace.